Afghanistan win the game, and no one's ruling that out. Then India's final match, which they can pretty much be sure of 2 more points, will put them all on 6 points. This is what it's all about. The net run rate thing means that India at the moment have the best of it between New Zealand, India and Afghanistan. So today's win at that speed, puts them in a very good position, but only if New Zealand lose their final game. So there you are. That is the summary of the day for you.
Well done. That was as quick as the Indian batting innings.
Yeah, and this straw could be. I'm going to keep this straw here just in case.
Actually, England and Pakistan are quite safe, so we don't need it.
All right, Sana, over to you.
So yeah, I guess अगर हम एक दफ़ा टेबल देख सकें, अगर पॉसिबिलिटी है, उर्दू में भी मैं बता दूं अपने नाजरीन को जो पॉइंट्स टेबल है, उसके बाद हम अपने पैनल के साथ भी डिस्कशन जारी रखेंगे. और ये जो टेबल है इसमें आप देखिए जो बात कर रहे थे डेविड भी कि न्यूजीलैंड के 6 पॉइंट्स हो गए, उनका एक मैच अभी बाकी है जो अफगानिस्तान के साथ होगा. अगर न्यूजीलैंड वो मैच जीत जाता है वो 8 पॉइंट्स पे आके पाकिस्तान के साथ सेमीफाइनल में क्वालिफाई कर जाता है. अगर वो मैच वो हार जाते हैं तो अफगानिस्तान भी 6 पॉइंट्स पे आ जाएगा और इंडिया अगला मैच अपना नामीबिया के साथ खेलेगा, वो भी 6 पॉइंट्स पे आ जाएगा. पर उसमें जो इंडिया ने आज 6.3 ओवर्स में मैच ख़त्म किया है, इंडिया के पास चांस बहुत हो जाएगा कि उनका रन रेट अफगानिस्तान और न्यूजीलैंड से ऊपर होगा, तो फिर इंडिया हॉट फेवरेट हो सकता है इन केस अगर अफगानिस्तान जीत जाए. जी राशिद भाई, क्या समझते हैं जो जिस तरह की आज की परफॉर्मेंस इंडिया ने दिखाई और न्यूजीलैंड का स्ट्रगल जो हो रहा है बैटिंग में, ओवरऑल उस कन्विंसिंग तरीके से न्यूजीलैंड नहीं जीत सका जो इंडिया इस वक्त इंडिया ने दिखाया.
न्यूजीलैंड 52 रन से जीता है T20 में 52. हाँ, लास्ट मैच 16 रन से जो जीते थे वो थोड़ा सा
दोनों मैचेस थोड़े से क्लोज हो गए.
हाँ, लेकिन तकरीबन 17 ओवर में इनके 117 थे और उसके बाद जो लास्ट 18 बॉल पे रन किए हैं वो जबरदस्त है. लेकिन इंडिया ने जाहिर सी बात है उनके पास और कुछ भी नहीं है. आज के मैच में इनको नेट रन रेट अपना अच्छा करना था और किया भी उन्होंने. अफगानिस्तान से ऊपर चले गए. अफगानिस्तान इस वक्त प्लस 1.28 के ऊपर है और इंडिया प्लस 1.62 के ऊपर आ गया है. और तो यहाँ पे क्या है कि सबकी नज़रें अब 7 तारीख को जो मैच है अफगानिस्तान और न्यूजीलैंड, और सबको ये है कि क्या होगा. लेकिन जो ज़्यादा लगने में आ रहे हैं काफ़ी लोग आज फ़ोन किए, सब घबरा रहे हैं क्या होगा. लेकिन सुकून से रहे, न्यूजीलैंड आराम से थ्रू कर जाएगा सेमीफाइनल के लिए.
लेकिन आज जैसे उन्होंने 14 ओवर तक स्ट्रगल
किया, आज वाला मैच नहीं होगा.
देखिए टॉस पे बड़ा फाइटल नहीं इफेक्ट हो सकता. आज टॉस उन्होंने जीता, इनको बैटिंग दी 14 ओवर्स में 87 रन.
देखिए जो अफगानिस्तान की बात करें, हिस्ट्री जो हमने देखी इस इवेंट के अंदर देखी है, वो शुरू अच्छा करते हैं. गुरबाज 2-3 छक्के मारेगा या जज़ई आके, लेकिन पूरा गो थ्रू नहीं करते ये लोग. ये 7-8 ओवर में 10 रन के रन रेट से भी चले जाएंगे. लेकिन क्या है, टोटल कितना है 130. ये इशू है अफगानिस्तान की टीम में. और प्रोफेशनल टीम है न्यूजीलैंड, कैप्टनसी उसकी, लीडरशिप क्वालिटी तो लगता नहीं. हाँ, कोई ऐसा हो जाए कि वो लंबी इनिंग खेल जाए, कोई शहजाद हो या गुलबाज हो या नबी हो, तो डिफरेंट गेम हो सकता है. लेकिन हिस्ट्री जो बताती है इस इवेंट की, वो इतनी ज़्यादा साथ नहीं दे रही अफगानिस्तान की.
बिल्कुल. और 3 स्पिनर्स आज खिलाए इंडिया ने. पिच को लगता है बहुत अच्छा रीड किया. जडेजा की बॉल कुछ ब्रेक भी हुए, 3 विकेट्स उन्होंने हासिल किए. शामी को खिलाया, अश्विन को भी खिलाया और चक्रवर्ती को भी खिलाया. 3 स्पिनर से गए. पिच को भी आज अच्छा रीड किया इंडिया की टीम ने.
बिल्कुल. दूसरी बात यह है कि ऑलरेडी उनके पास 3 पेसर वैसे भी अवेलेबल थे. पांड्या की सूरत में उनके पास एक ऑलराउंडर है जो कि बेहतरीन ऑलराउंडर है. चक्रवर्ती का चांस लेके थोड़ा सा मिस्ट्री है तो उनको समझ नहीं आएगी. लेकिन जिस तरह टॉन सेट के ऊपर से बुमराह ने जिस तरह उसको आउट किया, फिर अश्विन को अगर आप देखें, शामी को देखें, जडेजा ने आज जिस तरह की बॉलिंग की है, जो पहला विकेट उसको मिला वहाँ से उसका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल और हाई हो गया, क्योंकि वो एक आइडियल लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर के लिए एक आइडियल बॉल होता है जिस तरह उसको बोल्ड किया. तो आई थिंक बड़ा अच्छा स्टार्ट उन्होंने दिया. जो भी जो टारगेट सेट किया था इंडिया ने टॉस जीत के, तो आई थिंक सारे प्लेयर ने उसको बड़ा ज़बरदस्त तरीके से एग्जीक्यूट किया. और फिर जो सबसे बेस्ट जो चीज़ लगी कि उनके बैट्समैनों को उनके सामने एक जो उनका प्लान था कि हम चेसिंग में जाएंगे और हमारे सामने बोर्ड पे एक टारगेट होगा तो हम उसी हिसाब से उसको चेस करेंगे और अपने रन रेट को. तो जिस तरह केएल राहुल ने और शर्मा ने उसको रिप्लाई किया और जिस तरह एग्जीक्यूशन उन्होंने किए तो आई थिंक आप कह सकते कि टॉप बैटिंग लाइनअप तो उनकी वैसी भी थी, लेकिन वंस अगेन बड़े ज़बरदस्त एग्जीक्यूशन और बैटिंग मज़ा आया देखने का.
बिल्कुल ज़बरदस्त. एंड व्हाट दिस मैच हैज़ डन दैट वी कैन नॉट जस्ट talk about India and Scotland. We have Afghanistan comes in, New Zealand comes in, and the discussion just takes over.
Well, as you know, Sana, we have plenty of time on these shows to meander our way around all the discussions, all the salient points, and consider everyone's best interests. Apart from anything else, that was a very, very clinical, impressive, dominant performance, was it not, Viv?
For sure. India did what it had to do, you know, to not just basically get over the line, but also to increase their run rate, which I think was very special. The only thing that they will be asking now is for someone else to do a job for them in Afghanistan. They'll be hoping that Afghanistan can do a job on New Zealand. And it's tough when you have to do that, especially one of the better teams in the world, having to ask one of the teams that are not so fancy to do that. That's going to be something that worth waiting for.
I think they had two bad games in India because of I think the tougher oppositions and tough conditions. On flat pitches, probably India is the number one, or England number one team. But where there is something in the pace, something not coming up, stopping or turning or a bit of seam, that's what hurts them early on. And I think still what we have seen between stronger teams and the associates, they can tackle medium pace, simple bowling, but when it comes to pace and there was spin, quality spin, all struggle. The other day, Australia smashed Bangladesh and India today, and I mean, like, this is the story. This is the limitation of associate cricket.
Yeah, but this again is the thing. We're on good pitches, or pitches which offer something. So a bit of bounce, bit of pace. Batsmen can play their shots. Indian batsmen love that. On pitches that are low and slow, everyone, like New Zealand today, we'll come to them later, but New Zealand today struggled for 15 overs.
Then came Phillips and Neesham, who I guess got him out of trouble.
Yeah.
When I looked at the tally and saw the score, I said, wow, Manivia's doing pretty well here.
Yeah.
You know, but as you say, some class in Neesham, who I think is a renowned hitter of a cricket ball. Phillips stepped in. And obviously, when they got to 163, felt that they were in a sort of safe zone in order for them to compete and defend.
Yeah, sure.
Because in Sharjah, if you try to play a normal cricket, it's so hard to even hit a boundary. Skidding through, staying low, heavy outfield, it has to go under sixes. Otherwise, if you play proper cricket, hitting the gaps, you're going to end up like 140, less than 140. So they realize that, look, oh God, we are in trouble. So just smash it. So this is how they
or try to smash it.
Try to smash
it. With India and their bowling today, though, I mean, I'm sort of mischievously pointing out now Ravi Jadeja, who was man of the match in the end for picking up those wickets. Was it 3 for 15 off his 4 overs? And of course, he's a man you've talked about over the last couple of weeks as being steady but nothing special. Okay, I know there is this gap between India, top side, Scotland, emerging sides, plucky, braveheart as you described them. Bravery is one thing, skill is another. And they just don't pick up the subtle variations, do they, in the same way?
I mean, look, the quality of Jadeja is that pause he took, where he reads the batsman. All the bowler, Ashwin, his biggest strength is the last second pause and reading the batsman and then varying the length. It's about are you used to it playing something like that smart bowler? This is what it's happening. If it's come to 145, they have no idea. They're late. If it's something quality spinning, if something to read, they can't. Their ball.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a new language.
Yeah, it's a new language for them. And even smart bowlers, I mean, Jadeja is playing IPL in India, so how difficult it is for him to check what's going on, the batsman's mind. And he's very shrewd, very clever. That's his main strength. He's not big turner of the ball, but where he is pace, he read the batsman well.
Turn one today, though. I mean, that's what happens if you're Scotland. You suddenly get the one that turns.
Yes, and the other thing about Jadeja's 3 wickets is that all the other bowlers put a lot of pressure on the batting lineup already.
Yeah.
So when you, as a spinner, have it's kind of a platform set for the middle order when the top order performs and the middle order just have to come and do their stuff. So it's the same for Jadeja also. All the bowlers were performing really well. There were a lot of dot balls, some wickets there, and he just had to come, bowl some dot deliveries.
Which, I mean, all makes sense, absolute sense, and which is why the best sides, the sides that are likely to be in the semi-finals and the sides that are likely or possibly going to get to that final will have that depth in an attack.
Yes.
To do two things. One is to take advantage of early success and then put pressure on. The other is to change plan if need be.
Yes, but the point of Aqib, I mean, why he's been able to take these 3 wickets against Scotland, because these top bowlers were able to take wickets against Scotland. But if they are not going to take wickets, it's unlikely that Jadeja could come and take 3 wickets. He can take 1 wicket or 2 wickets.
Maybe.
So I mean, that's the difference between having Jadeja or a proper leg spinner or a mystery spinner. But all credit to him. I mean, he's done well today.
And one of the things that I've noticed over the years during the T20 tournaments and many other tournaments that India would have played, Captain Kohli has a lot of faith in the JJ. He seems to be the go-to man, regardless of whatever. And he have not let his captain down on any occasion.
Yeah. Brilliant fielder also can contribute with the bat. Rashid bhai, bowling first, आज 6 टॉस के बाद पहला टॉस जीता है विराट कोहली ने, 7वां टॉस.
आज बर्थडे थी ना उसकी तो.
अच्छा,
विराट की.
अच्छा, तो बस फिर उसी वजह से शायद गिफ्ट मिला उनको.
गिफ्ट अब ये नहीं पता गिफ्ट किसने दिया है.
चले
नई कंट्रोवर्सी हो जाएगी. टॉस
अल्लाह में नहीं दिया.
टॉस जीता है. तो हम थोड़ा सा अगर ग्राफिक्स भी देखें डिफेंडिंग और चेजिंग के इस वर्ल्ड कप के टॉसेस ने कितना इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले किया है. अगर हम देखें कि शारजा में 9 मैचेस हुए हैं, 4 मैच डिफेंड हुए हैं और 5 मैचेस में टीम्स ने चेज किया है. दुबई में अगर देखें तो सिर्फ एक ही मैच को डिफेंड किया गया है, 9 मैचेस को चेज करने वाली टीम ने जीता है. मस्कत में जब मैचेस हुए तो 4 डिफेंड हुए, 2 चेज हुए, और अबू धाबी में भी अभी भी तकरीबन बराबर के करीब आने वाला है. 5 डिफेंड कर सके टीम्स और 7 मैचेस को चेज किया गया. तो अब ऑब्वियसली नज़र यही आ रहा है कि चेजिंग का पलड़ा भारी है. ज़्यादा टीम्स ऑब्वियसली चेज कर पा रही हैं इस टूर्नामेंट में. तो टॉस का रोल अभी भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है.
मैच क्या कर सकते हैं आप. क्वालिफायर राउंड में कुछ ऐसे मैचेस हुए जिसमें स्ट्रगल कर रहे थे. इनके शुरू के मैच फर्स्ट वीक अगर हम देखते हैं इस वर्ल्ड कप के, उसमें टफ अपोनेंट एक दूसरे के साथ खेल रहे थे. उसमें किसी ने चेज किया, किसी ने नहीं किया. लेकिन अब लास्ट इस वीक में अगर देखते हैं तो ज़्यादा चेजिंग हुई है, क्योंकि प्रेशर हट गया था. इंडिया के ऊपर से 2 हारने के बाद जाहिर सी बात है वो प्रेशर नहीं रहा. ऑस्ट्रेलिया वीकर साइड से खेल रहा है, इंग्लैंड वीकर साइड से खेल रहा है, पाकिस्तान वीकर साइड से खेल रहा है. इसलिए सेकंड बैटिंग इजी हो गई. तो इस वजह से तमाम मैचेस उठा के देखें, अगर मैं आपको मवाजना करता हूँ जो मैचेस हुए, इंग्लैंड श्रीलंका तो बेसिकली इंग्लैंड फेवरेट थी, 26 रन से जीता. साउथ अफ्रीका बांग्लादेश, साउथ अफ्रीका 6 विकेट से जीता. पाकिस्तान नमीबिया, पाकिस्तान 6 विकेट से जीता. न्यूजीलैंड स्कॉटलैंड, न्यूजीलैंड 16 रन से जीता. इंडिया अफगानिस्तान, इंडिया 66 रन से जीता. इसी तरह से आज के मैच को भी देख लें तो वीकर साइड और स्ट्रॉन्ग साइड से मैचेस हुए हैं. कल या परसों जो मैच होने जा रहे हैं साउथ अफ्रीका और इंग्लैंड का मैच है शायद, या ऑस्ट्रेलिया का, वो मैच देखने वाला होगा. वो मैच तगड़ा एक मैच होगा जो कि आप कह सकते हैं कि इसमें हमें देखना है कि कौन चेजिंग पे जाता है, कौन नहीं जाता. क्योंकि अब 2 मैच लास्ट के वो डिसाइड करेंगे पूरे वर्ल्ड कप में. ऑस्ट्रेलिया या साउथ अफ्रीका सेमी में, अफगानिस्तान ये न्यूजीलैंड या इंडिया सेमीज में. तो ये करंट मैचेस होंगे, इसमें हमें देखना पड़ेगा. वैसे चेंज आया है इस नवंबर में, अगर देखें मैचेस में चेंज आया है. लेकिन हम देखेंगे तो बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग मैचेस नहीं हुए. 77 रन किए, 74 रन किए, 82 रन किए.
राशिद जब ये जाएंगे सिंगल मैच अंडर लाइट्स ड्यू फैक्टर, आई डोंट थिंक कोई भी रिस्क लेना बनता है. यू डोंट वांट टू टेक एनी रिस्क बाय बॉलिंग सेकंड. इफ यू हैव अ चॉइस you got to go for chasing.
On all three grounds?
No, I think the semis and the final is in Abu Dhabi.
No, sure, yeah, you got, I think semis, one semi Dubai, one Abu Dhabi, final is in Dubai.
Yeah, similar sort of conditions, and when you're going into a semis and final, you don't want to take any chance of unnatural, more than your ability, a chance which is not in your control.
ओके भाई, इसमें दो चीज़ें और भी है जो मेरे ख्याल से फैक्टर हो सकते हैं. एक तो जब ये वर्ल्ड कप स्टार्ट हुआ था तो लाइक 15-20 दिन पहले हुआ था, तब मौसम इतना वो चेंज नहीं हुआ था. अब मौसम भी वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ठंड आ गई है, तो एक तो ये कि ड्यू फैक्टर ऑब्वियसली पहले स्टार्ट में थे नहीं पड़ रहे थे. और बाकी अगर हम तीनों वेन्यू की अगर हिस्ट्री भी देख ले तो पास्ट में जब हम खेलते थे लाइक PSL के मैचेस, तो हमने पहले भी कहा था वर्ल्ड कप के स्टार्ट में कि यहाँ पे पिचेस अर्ली ऑन थोड़ा सा मुश्किल होते हैं, जो कि बाद में थोड़े से बेहतर हो गए. अबू धाबी के पिचेस आप देखे या दुबई के देखे, सिर्फ श्रीलंका में डिफरेंस नहीं आई, बाकी दोनों वेन्यू पे डिफरेंस आ गई, क्योंकि अर्ली ऑन वो ज़्यादा वो पिच को ज़्यादा पानी देते हैं और उसको प्रिपरेशन में ना, फिर जब सेकंड हाफ शुरू हो जाता है तो PSL में भी इस तरह हुआ था कि बाद में जो ना पिच ज़्यादा अच्छे हो गए और लंबे स्कोर शुरू हो गए.
लेकिन जो फियर था ना कि लॉट ऑफ क्रिकेट, IPL and then this World Cup will be dusty and not compact pitches, but they surprised people because they look after well, they thought about it, gave enough water and leave enough grass to leave the pitches till the end in a good condition. So day by day it's getting better.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think we should give credit to the ground staff, the groundsmen who've looked after these, as you say, very busy stadia. I mean, for the last, 4 months or more, there's been sort of solid
in
cricket.
Sharjah, it will make no difference if you have 6 games a week or you have 1 game a week.
Yeah.
It's not going to make any difference because the same method they apply after a month, after overnight.
Yeah, and at least I think actually the Abu Dhabi pitch is the one that looks as though it's got the most life to it. But I think I'm optimistic, shall we say, that the pitches we will get in a week's time or so for those semis and that final will be the right sort of pitches for the climax this tournament.
Yes.
I'll keep my fingers crossed. I'll clutch at this straw as well.
Yes, hopefully the toss will not play as big a role because of the pitch.
I'm afraid I've got a suspicion Akib is very right that the trend will be maintained, and that if you do win a toss at that stage, you'll probably stick him in. Right, let's take a break. Lots more to discuss tonight after these 2 games. For now, though, it's
Game on.
Game on.
good straw. They had a perfectly good chance, obviously depending on results to do with New Zealand and Afghanistan. We have a very mischievous panel. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to blame anyone. But I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? Someone's tampered with their straw. And I don't know whether this is a forecast of India's chances or whether we're going to have to get a very expensive other straw from the Serena Hotel to try and continue to make our points over the next 2 or 3 days. But thank you for that.
You'll be fined,
No, I'll pick it up later. Don't worry. I promised to pick it up later, but it just wasn't looking its best. Okay, let's have a look at Scotland today then. They were put into bat by India, which is obviously the tactic that India were going to use. They wanted to see what Scotland could do. As it turns out, it wasn't much. They were put under immense pressure straight away by the Indian bowling. And if we have a quick look at the card there, which is beautifully on schedule, you can see that there was a bit of a struggle all the way through. There were a couple of performances from actually the usual suspects. Munsey and Leask have been the guys who've been in the runs more than most in the Scottish performance over the last couple of weeks. And a 24 and a 21 again. There's some shots in there which showed a bit of class, a bit of resilience, but I'm afraid 85 from best part of 18 overs was never really going to be competitive. But it was all due to the pressure that they were put under. And we can use one example. We can show you one of those guys. George Munsey opening the innings, who has been there all the way through this tournament and has played some useful knocks. I mean, just look at that. Shots like that. That's, if nothing else, he will take that video home and say, this is what I did against India. And he'll scrub the result.
Beautiful
He'll
shot.
take all the other figures out. He'll say, look, this is what I did against India.
Wow.
Viv, you're speechless. What's going on?
I am, because I have to be speechless. When you get bowled for 85 and you play a few good shots like that, I don't know what you want to take home, or you would like to take home.
Okay, right, okay. What we'd like to take home, whoever we are, is a performance, both personal and collectively, which wins you games.
That's right.
But we know, you know, I don't want to give any secrets away, we know that Scotland lost today.
That's right.
But these guys, you know, they're amateur cricketers. They're playing against one of the best sides in the world, or a side that thinks it's the best side in the world anyway.
Okay.
And they are just those little moments.
Okay.
Like
well,
you, like
well, it
Viv,
depends
like,
who you
like,
are, really.
Like you on the golf course, Viv. Let's forget the cricket. You on the golf
Oh
course.
my God! I thought you didn't know
No,
about golf.
I know you love. I know you love
Yeah,
your
go
golf.
ahead.
I understand golf. I hate playing it, but I
Go for it,
understand
go
golf.
for it, go for it.
And so, okay, I can put my experience. You know, if I have, and it's been years since I tried this, but I have one good hole, I think I'll remember that, and I can forget 17 other holes. I can forget losing the game. What I'm saying is, for these guys, those little moments, you're hitting Bumrah over square leg for 6, is something that stays there forever.
Well, if you, it depends on where you, what you fancy, and your belief, and if that's what you believe in, nothing's wrong with that. If you want to take that home, it's nice to know that you can play a good shot off of a world-class bowler. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at the team factor. You need lots more of that. That one, and as we see, they were totally outclassed. One can never forget that. And when you play one or two shots, we speak about maybe the individuals who are trying to match the bigger teams. That's not enough to get it done. So one or two shots, whoever, it depends on how they think and the things that they would like to take home. They may feel good about it. But if I'm going to play a game of golf, I'm looking to make sure that I play 18 holes as well as I can.
Okay, well, that's what they've done. They've tried to play as best they can. If you played against, pick your favourite golfer.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. If you played against Tiger Woods at his best, what would you take home when you were beaten 9 and 8 and by several holes? You know, the technical term, 9 and 8. What would you take home? What would you take home?
Let me tell you the personal thing I'll take home, rather than playing, just to be there with the guy.
That's what they've done. That's exactly what Scotland has done.
Okay.
I rest my case.
Okay.
You can stand down. Mr. Sir Vivian, you can stand down. I rest my case.
You know, I like his approach against spin. At one point, Chakravarti had no idea where to bowl. So I think at least he actually gave some ideas to the minnows or like associate countries. Next time when you come to this stage, you should be equipped with 1 or 2 special shots. Normal cricket, I mean, the amount of professional that these top teams are. If you want to match up, then you have to do something else. Your practice routines, your environment, your conditions where you practice, and more competitive cricket. If you continue playing, the only chance you will come up and give them a tough time.
Even against Ashwin, I mean, Ashwin went for just 15 runs in 4 overs against Afghanistan, and today his economy was 7.20, and they were playing those reverse sweeps and disturbing him. I mean, of course, from their point of view, he would have had a much better performance if it was a 70, but at least he was able to give some kind of a start in the power play. So, I mean, Manzi has not been able to play those big innings. मसला ये कि talent तो नजर आया, potential नजर आया, पर बड़ी इनिंग नहीं.
छोटी टीम के खिलाफ, मिनोज के खिलाफ ये अच्छा स्कोर करते हैं. मैं नाम लेता हूँ यहाँ पे, अगर इनके है स्टीफन बर्ड ने ओपन की या एरसमस थे, ये लॉन्ग इनिंग नहीं खेलते अगेंस्ट टेस्ट प्लेइंग नेशन या बड़ी जो टीम है उनके खिलाफ. मैं बात करता हूँ जाजाई की, बात करें शहजाद की, गुरबाज की, पूरे इवेंट में देख लिया, ये 2-3 छक्के अच्छे मारेंगे, उसके बाद ये पूरी इनिंग को लेके नहीं चलते. ये इश्यूज हैं. और आज की अगर हम बैटिंग को अगर देख लेते हैं, कोर्टे को देख लें या मंसी को देख लें, शॉर्ट इनिंग होंगी इनकी, लेकिन ब्यूटीफुल इनिंग होंगी. 2 छक्के मारे, 2 चौके मारे, लेकिन उसके बाद आउट होके चले गए. ये इश्यूज हैं मिनोज के साथ, एसोसिएट के साथ, ये लोग अगर ये लेके चलने लगे अपनी इनिंग को बिल्ड करना अगर सीख गए तो ये बहुत अच्छी टीम हो सकती है। इनके जो ये खेलते हैं 130 की मैक्सिमम स्पीड, स्लो स्पिन, लो स्पिन पे खेलते हैं, अगर फिर आप अश्विन को खेलेंगे, जडेजा को खेलेंगे, जहाँ पे ग्रिप होने लगेगी वहाँ आपको प्रॉब्लम्स होंगी। जडेजा इनके साथ खेल, ये जडेजा को नहीं खेल रहे थे, जडेजा आज इनके साथ खेल रहा था, उसको थोड़ी ग्रिप मिली, उसने आराम से वेरी की अपनी बॉल को, उसने तेज की, लेग बिफोर बैकफुट पे ले गया, पहले आगे से आउट किया उसने। तो इनके साथ यही इशू है। जब भी सुबह के सेगमेंट में, दोपहर के सेगमेंट में ये कहा था कि इनको अपने एफटीपी तैयार करना चाहिए, मुश्किल मैचेस खेलने चाहिए। ये क्या है, अब जाके सिर्फ स्कॉटलैंड में ही खेलेंगे, इनको जाना चाहिए, दूसरे कंट्रीज में जाके खेलें। और ये इनके जो इश्यूज हैं वो नज़र आ रहे हैं। टॉप ऑर्डर 3 अगेंस्ट टॉप कंट्रीज, ये इतने अच्छे नहीं हैं। टॉप 3 को बहुत अच्छा होना पड़ता है, नीचे आके फिर वही रन 30-35 रन नीचे आके 5, 6, 7 नंबर वाले करके ये 150 करते हैं, ये समझ रहे हैं अचीव हो गया, लेकिन दूसरी टीम आके आराम से चेस कर लेती है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं।
उसमें यही है ना कि आप लोगों का जिस तरह ये जो राशिद भाई बात कर रहे हैं ना कि 2-3 शॉट खेल के फिर उसके बाद आउट हो जाते, आप इनके देखें ना जो डोमेस्टिक जो स्ट्रक्चर है या जो उनका सिस्टम है वहाँ पे एक तो इन लोगों को इतने वो रन्स करने की आदत नहीं होती। अगर आप अदर साइड देखे जो अच्छी टीम है, जो बड़ी टीम्स है, लेट सपोज मैं आपको बाबर की मिसाल देता हूँ कि बाबर जब एक दफ़ा वो सेट हो जाता है, 20-25 रन कर लेते हैं तो वो उसको कन्वर्ट करता है 50-60 में, फिर 60-70 को कन्वर्ट करता है 100 में। तो एक तो अपॉर्चुनिटी की बात है, दूसरे आपके सिस्टम में, क्योंकि ये लोग खेलते हैं एक दूसरे के अगेंस्ट, तो वहाँ पे मेनली ये लोग कहते हैं T20 खेलते हैं या हार्डली कोई बहुत कम मैचेस खेलते हैं वनडेज के, जो कि इनके एक्सपोजर इतने ही है कि वो आप 25-30 कर लेते हैं मिनस टीमों के अगेंस्ट, लेकिन जब बड़ी टीम आ जाती है तो आपको प्रॉब्लम होती है, आप अपने 15-20 को कन्वर्ट नहीं कर सकते उसमें।
बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट है, क्योंकि ये जब लिमिटेड ओवर्स में प्लेयर्स बनते हैं तो उनको क्रीज पे खड़ा होना नहीं
जो नजर आ, जैसे अभी बात की, बाबर की बात की, रिजवान की, इन्होंने किनको रिप्लेस किया है? शर्जील और फखर को किया है इन्होंने। देखिए वो T20 के किंग है इस वक्त, तो क्या रिप्लेस उन्होंने किया? तो एक के ऊपर एक इंग्लैंड के खिलाफ भी, इंग्लैंड में बहुत सारे प्लेयर्स हैं, इंडिया के खिलाफ के पास बहुत सारे प्लेयर्स हैं, इन मिनोज के पास बैकअप नहीं है। तो जिस कंट्री में जी कंपटीशन नहीं है, बैकअप होगा, ये अगले 2 साल बाद देखेंगे यही टीम आई रही होगी 2-3 चेंज करके। इनको अपना बैकअप तैयार करना पड़ेगा, जिस तरह पाकिस्तान या इंडिया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इंग्लैंड, इनके पास बहुत सारी लाइन है, बैकअप प्लेयर्स हैं, तो मिनोज के पास बैकअप नहीं है, जिसकी वजह से इनको ये इश्यूज आ रहे हैं।
So one of the biggest problem is that they do not have backup players or more competition for them to push themselves even further. Another point that Omar brought was really good, that these teams have developed playing T20 and maximum one-day cricket. So for them to score a big innings like a 70-80, that's not registered in their minds too much, because all they have prepared is mostly for T20 cricket.
Yeah, I suppose the argument there is this is a T20 competition, so that they do have. I was going to point out, for instance, Callum McLeod in the middle order, who's had a quiet competition here in UAE. He's the guy who made that 140 against England a couple of years ago at the Grange in Edinburgh, in a game that all Scots remember as one of the great days of their cricket, because they beat England in a high-scoring game. And it was fabulous to watch, I have to say, and that was brilliant for Scotland, because they beat the neighbour, they beat the arch-rival, and we have this sort of I understand rivalries, national rivalries, and England, Scotland. Don't mention independence. That's quite good too. So for Scotland that day, it was a big day for them. And okay, we understand they haven't had that sort of day today by any stretch of the imagination. The bowling, India's bowling. Let's have a look at that as well. Couple of threefers. Ravi Jadeja was the one we were talking about a little while ago, who picked up his few wickets. Yeah, we took the point that it was on the back of some good opening bowling, and it opened up the doors, it pushed it, but it's just sort of kind of, I mean, that one actually, I suppose for him was slightly unusual. It was sort of the left armer's dream, sort of pitching on middle, hitting middle.
The first one looped, turning away, and then the next one, arm ball.
Yeah.
So they have no idea on this pitch, press forward or wait for it, because if you don't know what's coming in from the hand, it's going to be too late for them. the understanding what's coming, reading the fingers. I think that's missing. They haven't seen it. They're not used to it.
Well, I mean, and the other one, of course, the sweep shot. I mean, this is one of the things we've seen, I don't know how many times now, countless times, people trying to get out of jail, as it were, by playing the sweep shot.
That's normally when you're not reading or picking.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you do. You bring the broom out and you go like that. And we saw Ravi is not really one of these individuals that, as you say, is tricky, leg breaks and googlies, but pretty straight on. And that, to me, something like that you can do whatever. But when you bowl at that particular pace, it's going to be tough at the yard. It's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Now, Saviv, as one of the finest batsmen ever.
Wow, that's true.
It is true. It is true. We have to admit these things to you.
Oh my God.
What is the secret of the sweep shot?
That's when you don't know what's happening.
No, but,
for some reason.
Right.
For me, when I'm looking to
the secret, I'm looking for a batting tip here. In other words, how do you play it well?
How do you play it well? Well, I wasn't a sweeper. You may have to ask someone else. You know,
okay. Umar. let me turn to the expert sweepers.
He never needed to play a sweep shot. You know? That's why he was the best.
No, well, actually, no, it's a fair point because you like to go down the ground.
I was never a guy who took that chance to do that, because I've always felt that when you're looking to sweep, you're going to take the eyes off the ball at some point. And I like to maybe keep whatever in front of me. We all have our own styles. You know?
Yeah, okay, okay, go for it. So, the sweep shot is a shot of desperation when you don't know what's going on.
It was one of my favorite shots because of the reason I couldn't hit as straight as Saviv.
Yeah, I think the question is directed to the right person, because you said to me that you didn't do that. You like to sweep, so we'd love to hear those answers.
Yeah, I mean, for the sweep shot, of course, your head needs to be low.
Rashid was good at it.
Yeah, and
इसमें बहुत आसान इजी तरीका है. इसमें जब शोल्डर होता है ना, वो बाहर होना चाहिए. लाइक जावेद मियां था, सर्विस रिचर्ड, मार्टिन क्रो, इनका ना क्लोज नहीं होगा. जब क्लोज हो जाते हैं, सेंटर की बॉल आपकी पैच पे लगेगी. जब ओपन होकर सामने हो जाएंगे तो आपको सेंटर की बॉल ना आप आराम से ऑन पे खेल सकते हैं, क्योंकि आपकी विजन बहुत क्लोज है. और जब आप जाते हैं मारने के लिए, पाँव के ऊपर है, 3 स्वीप शॉट है, एक स्क्वायर लेग, एक 45 और एक नीचे पैडल शॉट 3 है. और स्लॉग स्वीप भी होती है जो मिड विकेट पे जाती है, डीप मिड विकेट पे. तो वो आप चलाते हैं बॉलर को, तंग कर रहा है बॉलर, उसको आप स्वीप करते हैं. इसमें यूनुस खान आप कह सकते हो टेस्ट क्रिकेट में या वनडे क्रिकेट में जो बेस्ट देखा गया है, जो कि संगाकारा भी बोलता है कि, या एबी डिविलियर्स भी बोलते हैं कि सरफराज भी. तो क्या है कि ये यहाँ से आपको ये शोल्डर बाहर होना चाहिए. जहाँ पे ये शोल्डर अंदर हुआ तो आप लॉक हो जाते हैं उसमें. ये बात मार्टिन क्रो ने अपनी आखिरी जो बुक्स होती है उसमें लिखा है कि बेस्ट जो स्वीपर्स थे या जिनका विजन अच्छा था, सर की बात की उन्होंने, सुनील गावस्कर साहब की बात की, एंड जावेद मियां साहब की बात की.
आई होप आप सब सुन रहे हैं और ज़रूर इस पे काम करेंगे जो क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है आजकल. स्वीप शॉट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, रिवर्स स्वीप्स बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट है मॉडर्न क्रिकेट में. साथ साथ हम अब इंडिया की बॉलिंग पे भी जाते हैं मजीद. जडेजा की बात हमने कर ली, मोहम्मद शामी उन्होंने भी आज 3 विकेट्स ली अप फ्रंट, एक मेडन ओवर भी कराया. उमर, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे मोहम्मद शामी की इस परफॉर्मेंस पर?
नहीं, अगर आप मोहम्मद शामी को अगर आप देखें ना, जब ये रन अप के लिए आता है तो ये आप कहेंगे कि यार लाइक कैजुअल टाइप से वो दौड़ के आता है, लेकिन है बड़ा क्लेवर. बहुत आपने जो ना माइंड बड़ा ज़बरदस्त यूज़ कर दिया. बैट्समैन को बड़े जल्दी वो रीड कर लेता है. अगर आप देखें मंजे को ना, उसने अपने फील्डर को यूज़ किया और स्लो रन किया. और जो सबसे इसकी जो अच्छी बात है, जो हार्ड लेंथ है इसकी ना बड़ी तगड़ी है, क्योंकि ये ओवर द ईयर इंडिया के लिए तीनों फॉर्मेट में बड़ा रेगुलर बॉलर और बड़ा ज़बरदस्त परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं उनके लिए. इसकी अगर हार्ड लेंथ देख के बड़ा ज़बरदस्त, वहाँ से जो बैट्समैन है ना बिल्कुल टक करके यहाँ पे बॉल लगता है, वो यॉर्कर इसका बड़ा ज़बरदस्त डेवलप किया है. और इसका जो ऑड वन जो बाउंसर करता है ना, सरप्राइज अमेजिंग, एक अच्छा वो है इंडिया के लिए बड़ा ज़बरदस्त लगता. तो बिल्कुल कैजुअल सा लगता है, लेकिन इसके अगर ओवर द ईयर परफॉर्मेंसेस देखें तो इंडिया के लिए तीनों फॉर्मेट में बड़ा कंसिस्टेंटली परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं.
और ऑफ कोर्स मेंटली भी बड़े टफ होंगे. जिस तरह का क्रिटिसिज्म इनको सामना करना पड़ा इन द फर्स्ट, आफ्टर द फर्स्ट गेम ही वाज अंडर अ लॉट ऑफ अब्यूज एंड क्रिटिसिज्म, एंड then Virat Kohli really supported him, and a lot of cricketers from India and across supported him, and then coming back with strong performances like these.
I think it took 3 or 4.
Three
wickets.
Against Afghanistan.
3 today for 15.
3 today, definitely.
Yeah, 3
again.
today, definitely.
Yeah.
It took 3 wickets against Afghanistan,
Yeah.
I think so. It took few. Rhythmic bowler, it doesn't look that quick, but he's bowls at 143. Skiddy type of bowler. He's got everything, got good Yorker, can swing the ball, and hard length, especially that's key. Bringing in dot balls. Yeah, he's complete bowler.
I think he's a very underrated bowler.
Yeah.
You know, the things that you have gone through just recently in the past few days, I guess having his captain, Virat, and knowing the issues that you can have in India with the religions and all that sort of stuff, having his captain come out and support him 100%, I think that was great on Kohli's behalf.
Yeah, that was really great, and that's how it should be.
And to still see him playing and trusting him to come back and do well. That I think is
Okay, but
good.
you were right. 3 for
Yeah.
32 against Afghanistan, so picking up wickets but more expensive. I mean, today
It's good
3
for him after
Yeah.
a lot of criticism,
Yeah.
Yes.
back to back,
Yeah.
Performance.
good bowling.
And for instance, I mean, and just the one ball, that Yorker, okay, I know it was Alistair Evans who's down the order at number 10 somewhere, but that Yorker was a proper Yorker. It was a really, really good, quick Yorker. And that's the thing he has here. If he nails
you hardly
those.
see Yorkers swinging away a little bit. Mainly it's getting in, but this ball especially is slightly swing away from his pads. Because when something coming into your pad, you go there.
Yeah.
And slightly swinging away from you, you've got no chance.
Right, so we're talking about the batting now.
Yes, please.
India's batting, I mean, their one aim when they batted was to make the runs quickly, just to get that net run rate climbing above the competition, above New Zealand and Afghanistan. They achieved that, and they achieved it actually in some quite good style. And the two guys at the top of the order again, who have now found their form, it seems, KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, absolutely outstanding. Whatever the bowling, it was superlative hitting, 50 and 30 respectively. Kohli and Yadav at the end of it just had 10 seconds to finish off. We've almost got time to play the entire innings. But if we look at KL Rahul, he's now got his confidence back. He's playing shots like that. I mean, I just think that's just awesome. I mean, they're just beautifully played. And what we love, what people like me anyway love, is sort of the ease that the ball gets pushed to the boundary, and the ease that it flies over extra cover, and the ease that it goes wherever it's going, like that. It's just a flick.
Oh. And the bats today, they have enormous help to shots like that. They did everything that was what was asked of them today because of the situation that they were probably obviously in. And they did their best. Oh, well tried. But just mark this power, and it's great to see, regardless of who you support, just to see, regardless of whoever the bowling attack may be, to see just great shots being played, if you're a cricket fan.
Indeed, indeed.
And with this 50 has become the second, this is the second quickest 50 for India in T20 cricket after Yuvraj Singh in 12 deliveries. And I just want to confirm, who was that against?
Against England.
Straw, where's the straw?
Yeah, get me that straw back.
We mentioned earlier Scotland as well. We did, so England have taken a beating every now and again.
Let me see, I remember beating the West Indies in a one-day international once, probably, anyway. But anyway. Which, actually, that was what we were talking about earlier. I remember that day because it happened relatively
Nottingham?
Oh, that one as well, did we?
I think after
I was thinking of Brisbane.
Brisbane, okay.
Yeah, they smashed it all around the park. We did.
man.
Mikey came out, poof, over extra cover. Thank you very much. He was crying at the end of it. Was Mikey? Well,
Wow,
not really.
wow.
No, that
Okay, enough of these memories. We will stay focused on the World T20 that's currently going on. Right, we've done that game. I think we've discussed most of the salient points. We'll take a break.